Hello and welcome back to the Casual Anime Podcast, also known as CAP, where we're anything but that. I'm your host for today, Vince the Devil Rookie, and this is my co-host.
Hello, I'm Maxopack, just another casual anime fan.
Yes, indeed. So, today we have some anime news. Is that right, Maxopack?
Yep, we got some news to share.
Alright, so getting right into that news for today, we have 3 topics that we need to discuss, one of which is actually circulating throughout the internet right now, and it is a favorite topic of ours. It is Bleach, which is, it has a new anime coming up, but we have some bad news that unfortunately, Bleach, which has been bought by Disney, is not going to be simulcasted. Do you know what simulcasted means, Maxopack?
Yeah, so basically, when they air it over in Japan, simulcast allows us to broadcast it and watch it just a couple hours after, so as soon as possible. And Disney, from some sources we've heard, some of you might know popular Bleach YouTuber James Hansen was able to drop the news that Bleach was not getting simulcasted. And this just means Disney sucks, like really bad, and there's no point in watching it when you can just, pirate it now, and that's what everyone's gonna do. You're not gonna be watching it anytime sooner, and you're gonna be paying, $80 for Disney Plus. So we're bummed out about that, but even if it did get simulcasted, it's probably not a good idea to support Disney, because they'll probably just ruin another anime series. But we're really hoping Bleach succeeds, and if we have to fund it in another way, like obviously there's a game called Bleach Brave Souls. There's, you can find correlation to that game being a big support of Bleach's return. And also you can just buy the merchandise or, buy the manga.
That actually does remind me. Sorry, that actually does remind me. There should be a Bleach game coming out soon, from what we've heard from sources.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, if none of you are familiar, there is a legendary anime game called Storm. And this currently
could you give the full name?
So the full name is Naruto Storm, and Naruto has had multiple renditions of Storm to the point where it's become almost a completely new type of fighting game. And many anime, such as My Hero and One Punch Man and Demon Slayer, currently right now, have adopted the Storm fighting style. Some games you might know, like My Hero, One's Justice.
Yeah, One's Justice. They have 2 of those out.
One Punch Man, something hero, and
let me look that up.
And then right now, Demon Slayer has the Hinokami Chronicles, which is the newest rendition of Storm.
Yes. And I actually got the name. The One Punch Man game is called One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows.
Ah, yes. So that's the name. If any of you have tried it out or want to try it out, go ahead. This is really popular for adding a whole roster of characters from your favorite shows, and it adopts a very clean and cinematic looking gameplay. So if we were to get a Bleach Storm, it might literally break the internet, because Bleach has some of the most colorful cast and just, epic sorts of abilities. It would just be great, to like flash step across the air and, pull out like your Shikai and your Bankai and do all tons of like, different abilities and stuff. Like, it would just be great.
Oh, yeah. So there are many ways that you can still support Bleach while not contributing to Disney.
Yeah, there's no point in trusting in Disney. They've ruined Star Wars, and a bunch of other shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
But not to leave on a bad note, we have some other good news not associated with Disney, and that's the new anime coming out this October.
Exactly. Actually, not this October, but the second piece of news that we have is that Kengan Ashura, the legendary fighting show, has been announced for a season 2. And although we do not have an official date confirmed, we do have a key visual that was put out, and they have confirmed that it will be coming out next year in 2023. This is a show that came out on Netflix in about 2019. So we've been waiting for about 3 or 4 years for this season 2 to come out. And this will be following the next part of the King and Ashura Annihilation Tournament right after Oma defeated Ryan in the tournament. So we have a lot of good fights coming up.
Very nice. Very nice. Is this and this isn't Kengan Omega, is it?
No, Kengan Omega is the sequel, and right now we still have to get through the rest of the story in Ashura in order to get to Omega. So we
still have a long way to go.
Yes, I'd say there could be about 3 seasons of Kengan Ashura before we get to Omega.
Well, nice. It's nice to have, obviously, more Kengan Ashura.
Oh, yes.
I'm surprised it was left alone for so long.
Yeah. And speaking of upcoming animes, we do have some new animes that we have learned about. For this upcoming September, we have learned about a new anime called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We have only heard some details about it in the past. However, they just dropped a trailer, and have you seen that trailer, Maxopack?
Say that again?
Cyberpunk Edgerunners, have you seen the trailer for it?
I have not. Could you tell me what it's about?
Well, it is about the game, Cyberpunk. However, they're giving it seems like more of an edgy turn of events to it. I couldn't tell you what the story is about, but it seems kind of like a combination between Cyberpunk and Mad Max, honestly. It seems very nice. Let me look up what studio is creating it, because I recognize the style. Let me see.
Well, it'll definitely be better than the game.
Yeah, the game was disappointing, that's for sure. Where is the information? Oh, it's by the same studio as Kill la Kill, which is what? Let's see if I can just look up studio. Ah, yes, I knew I recognized the studio because it's Studio Trigger, which is the same people that animated Kill la Kill, Darling in the Franxx, and I believe it should be one of my favorite animes, Gurren Lagann.
Oh, very cool.
I'll just fact check that real quick, but we can cut that out of the podcast. Yeah, Gurren Lagann was animated by Studio Trigger, so this could be a very good anime. However,
so the main character is going to be 2A.
Pretty much, yeah. And if we know Studio Trigger's track record, Cyberpunk might just end with a giant alien battle.
Huh.
But we have some.
Might as well.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, might as well use the story from the game. If there's not much you could do saving the gameplay, so I'm glad they turned it into something cool.
Absolutely. And there's also another anime coming up in September. This anime is already out. It is called Bastard. However, for September, we are getting a second core for Bastard. Have you ever seen that story?
I have not, unfortunately.
Neither have I. However, I have heard good things about it. So maybe it is something we should pick up later.
Mm-hmm. Lots of things to watch. Upcoming seasons.
Absolutely. And speaking of upcoming things to watch, this is all in preparation for the big October that we're all excited for. Because in October, we have amazing things such as Spy X Family, its second core. which I know for a fact me and my brother are going to be very excited about. We have My Hero Academia Season 6. Upcoming, we also have Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, which is probably the thing I am most excited for on this list. I have loved Mob Psycho for the past 2 seasons very much. And we do have Chainsaw Man and Bleach coming in October. However, both of those have unconfirmed dates. And to go back over the list, I can tell you all the dates for these animes. Spy X Family will be coming out on October 1st, as well as My Hero Academia Season 6. So, look out for that on October 1st, which is going to be a Thursday. So we will have Spy X Family and My Hero Academia Thursdays. And Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 is coming out on October 6th, which is a Tuesday. So Mob Psycho Tuesday.
And Chainsaw Man, the release date isn't known yet, but there was a recent poll done by a popular Bleach YouTuber, DBZ Imran, where he had 79,000 people vote what the Bleach anime would drop. And 61% voted the 20th to the 31st of October.
Pretty good predictions, if I do say so myself. We can only hope that Bleach has I'd say they should have their own week. No other anime should drop in that week, because Bleach is going to take the anime world back by storm.
Yes. I'm sure, I'm sure they knew that Chainsaw Man would be dropping nearby, so they're probably not going to try to contest with that. No reason why they would. So most likely, if Chainsaw Man drops, Bleach will drop later.
Exactly. And on this very channel, we will be reacting to just about every episode of all these seasons here, except maybe Spy X Family. Do you want to watch Spy X Family with me?
Sure.
All right,
great. This is a casual place.
Oh yeah, it is. All right.
Most casual.
Looks like we're having Spy X Family Thursdays as well.
We'll even watch Salad Fingers if you guys want us to.
Oh my lord. Alright, but that is all the news that we have right now. So, Maxopack, what else do we have in store for this episode of Cap?
Well, today we will be attempting at a series that you might like. And this is where we rank from our personal experience. Now, we might not be the most hardcore anime fans or have a great plethora of shows we've watched, but we are very casual and we have a lot of passion for these shows. So with that, we're going to be ranking our favorite characters from your favorite shows, starting with Bleach, since Bleach is coming out with the Blood War.
Exactly.
And why not talk about all of our favorite Bleach characters, starting from the Soul Society arc to Blood War.
We have a tier list on Tiermaker. And on this tier list, are you able to see this, Maxopack, or should I share my screen with you? Will this work, or will this end up causing feedback?
Oh no, it should work. OBS will capture anything on screen.
Alright, tell me if this is messing up. But
yep, I can see it. So you have the Brave Souls one.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
This is the first
we'll
one.
Use that. I'm gonna post on our chat. Just make a. Let's see. Just gonna post a picture.
All right. Let me see
just rename those tiers.
Oh, okay. He's got some tier lists that he wants. So instead of S through F, you want. Is this enough tiers here, or do you want more?
You can leave Yami.
Yep.
And just put trash mid to goats.
So goats, hype, and solid. Mid. Maybe not right away trash. We could probably put another tier. Mid, like below average, maybe.
What's like lame. Do lame.
Yeah, that works. Lame. Then there's trash.
And then remove F.
Yeah, we can just remove F. Alright. Did I just delete something I wasn't supposed to?
You can just rename F.
Okay. And then
should you
S...
want to keep it would have to be the highest, like,
how's that?
let's see. You can
Soul King.
But I don't like the Soul King.
Oh, okay.
You can put stands or something.
Let's see. Where's he at?
Oh, put iconic.
There we go.
Oh my god.
That's Kenpachi. Oh, iconic? That works.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, why people watch, like, why someone would watch the series for. And that's going to be recurring in pretty much our whole list.
Yeah.
This will go true. Like, for example, if I had to do a personal story of another anime, Demon Slayer, I picked it up because I really liked Dio. And so he would be iconic for me. And if he was out there, then I might not have watched the show. So there's that.
Yeah, okay.
So
that works. Should we do something like, how about this? We can put a star next to... Oh, wait, we can't actually do that. These are pictures. I wish we could, but, like, I want to be able to, like, outline a picture or something for our personal favorite characters of, like, all time. Because, like, yours would probably be Giyu, despite how great some of the other characters might be, and mine might be Kenpachi, despite how better a lot of other characters might be. But who knows? Maybe we could just say that at the end.
Yeah, then, like, I'm gonna have my list up, too, as well. So, like, do you want to split it in half, or do you want to do, like, general consensus?
Yeah, this one can just be general consensus.
Okay, nice.
And then we can just tell which ones are our favorites at the end.
Because it probably would be more helpful to... It would probably be more, helpful to them if we gave an overall rating of the character.
Yeah.
So they can make their own decisions. So I'll try to be as non-biased as possible. But starting off with the absolute scumbag himself. There's could you fish for his other picture?
I was looking for his other picture. I don't see it though. Do you see it anywhere in here? Because I didn't catch it.
The Espada should be down below, like all the way down.
Alright, yeah, around here. I only saw his
wow, they gave him... Oh yeah. I'm seeing the Brave Souls versions. They gave him they put them in their resurrection form. Yeah. So he's just gonna look butt ugly like that. Well, that's... But yeah, Yami... That's
handsome. Yeah. That's more handsome than his normal one. But yeah, so... Yeah. Just explain the Yami tier real quick, because if I do, I'm gonna start yelling.
Yeah, so if you want Vince's opinion on Yami, he has a whole video. We'll put in the links in the description.
Yeah, there you go.
Of why Yami sucks.
Or
but just...
We could just link the TikTok channel for now. We have a TikTok channel, like a makeshift one, and I made a semi-joke video about Yami, but, like, this man's trash. Below trash.
Yeah. He is like close to book burning. Like if you had to see him multiple times in a chapter, you know, you would probably burn a page or just like rip out an ear. But yeah, he did nothing. He's checked off every red flag and what you wouldn't want in a character, and Kubo specifically made him to piss you off.
Pretty much.
But
we don't have to focus on Yami. We're here for the fun times, and we. Yeah. And we could go ahead and start with the main character himself. Hold on, I'll just make one more tier just so that we can focus on stuff. Waiting room.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, there we go. Because now we can even wherever anyone is in the video, they can just see which character we're currently talking about. So there we go. So we're gonna start right ahead with the main character himself, Ichigo Kurosaki. And since Maxopack is the Bleach aficionado, do you want to start by talking about Ichigo?
Sure. Well, starting off, Ichigo is a main character of one of the biggest series in anime, and a lot of people like to throw him under the bus for being maybe generic or not having a wide scope of goals, but that's just what makes him great to us fans, is that he's really just a simple guy who has made a lot out of his life, and it's a good message. You don't need to have world-changing goals or want to be like the Hokage or the Pirate King to achieve a simple good for your town or your society. And of course, Ichigo, has some good fortune. Like, he has pretty much every power in Bleach to almost to that extent. He's cracked, but he's never given up on his friends, and he's always tried to help people, even though they might screw him over. Like literally one time in the story, he fought a guy that literally like shot a hole through his heart, and then he came back as an unrestrained demon. Then he snapped out of it. And another fun fact: that guy who shot that hole in that heart actually snapped him out of it, out of that form. And when he saw that, he wasn't thinking like, oh wow, I just came back, like, and I can defeat the villain now. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, do this the shonen protagonist way. No, he straight up looked at the guy with like his arm chopped off from that battle he missed, and he was like, oh, did I do that? And he had he felt emotion for that, for his enemy having been like desecrated, and he was like, you know what, let's make this fair. I'll chop off my arm and we can continue the fight. Like, bro, some people will say like, man, Ichigo is kind of an idiot, just finish him off. But Ichigo has honor. Ichigo is an honorable dude. He'll keep fighting, even though well, it's a shonen protagonist thing, but he won't just keep fighting. He basically his way of hyping himself up is like, he has to do it. He has to do it no matter what. Even if the guy's like 10 times stronger, he's just gonna do it. He doesn't even think about like if he's gonna die. He just goes straight in there. He's fought like 20, almost every time he's fought a battle, it's always been against a guy that was like 20 times stronger than him. He's never had an advantage. Like, almost never had an advantage until later on when he trains. It's amazing. So Ichigo is literally iconic. Like, he should just be up there, like, straight away. Ichigo obviously is a fan favorite for a lot of characters, and to just wrap it up, he has so many iconic moments, iconic forms. The Hollow Mask is like a staple for Bleach culture. Zangetsu, one of the most, if not the most popular sword, Zanpakuto in Bleach. Goated forms every time. Vasto Lord A, Dangai Ichigo, his sleek black Bankai. It's incredible. You can't. We're not going to be beating Ichigo for a while. So, yeah, iconic.
I think I have to absolutely agree with that, because I fed in to the whole talk about Bleach not having a lot of character development at first. I wasn't trashing it. When I was starting Bleach, I had that mentality tainted because people were telling me that all throughout the time that I was considering watching Bleach. And when I watched Bleach, finally, I was like, what are these guys talking about? Because I was seeing Ichigo, honestly, Ichigo does something that no other protagonist in Shonen does, and I thought it was genius. You see, Ichigo's character development is him attempting to not develop in a negative way. Like, he tries not to feed into his hollow side, even though it ends up happening. He tries not to, like, become too powerful, even though he needs to save people like Rukia and Orihime. All this time, he's so afraid of his own potential when he has to master it in order to save his own friends. He's constantly struggling to control himself and to keep his own latent potential from spiraling out of control. It is honestly really cool, and I'm surprised that no one was able to pick up on that. So yes, I do truly believe Ichigo is a goat of a character, and he is wildly downplayed by people that simply don't look into how Kubo writes his story and how he writes his characters.
Facts.
So, you want to put him in iconic?
Yeah.
Alright. Absolutely. So, our first true character, because Yami's not a character, and he's already in iconic. This is a good list so far. So,
yep. So
what was that?
Let's pick just from anywhere off the list.
Okay. Do you see any that you want to pick out right away?
Yeah, so if you want to name something off the bat, and you can do that, but I'll just name one if you're still looking. I'd like to talk about yeah.
His little friends.
Yeah, I was gonna pick.
There you go.
I was gonna pick Chad.
All right, you want to pick Chad first? All right, so we can go with Chad next.
All right. Should I? Do you want to like switch, or should I? Or we start first?
Yeah, we can switch around. So I'll start with Chad. So Chad is he's a very good character. I do see a lot of the complaints that Chad has, that he doesn't have a ton of development and he doesn't have a ton of fights. However, I don't believe that is entirely correct, because they try to make it sound like Chad has no development and no fights, when in actuality, he is still a very developed, very focused on character. We even get a lot of focus on him in the Fullbringer arc, which is his own arc. Chad is a Fullbringer, and we learn about his intense pride for who he is as a person, and his intense pride for his family and his own lineage, and exactly why he, just like Ichigo, is afraid of his own power, but learns to master it in order to defend himself and defend those around him. And I really do like the connection that he and Ichigo make, where because Chad refuses to fight for himself because he knows that he is far too strong and he does not need to defend himself, Ichigo says, alright, then defend yourself for me, and I will defend myself for you. And together they blossom this friendship where they both look to each other for inspiration. And yes, Ichigo does wildly surpass Chad during the story, but Chad never stays in Ichigo's shadow, I'd say. He always steps back into the spotlight, and he always takes the show by storm whenever he has a moment. And even though he's not able to contend with people like the full-on Espada, he still gets many amazing moments, and I believe he should get more moments in the 1,000-Year Blood War as well, since Kubo is going to change some stuff. So, Chad is a very solid character. Maybe not as solid as the rest of the cast, but I still have a personal place in my heart for him.
Awesome. And that is actually what most Bleach fans think of Chad. Now, sorry about that. But yeah, solid is a great way to describe Chad. He's a solid friend, solid support. What brings him down a lot of points is that he literally is the punching bag, and was forgotten probably more times you can count on your fingers, but what carries him is his genuinely like cool hollow powers. Uh, it's one of the first times we ever see like hollow abilities used by a human besides Ichigo. And those could have been fleshed out so much more with his dual arms, or maybe like even a Vastal Lord A form, like the things we can create up as fans. Uh, so it just shows Chad had a lot of potential, but he is unfortunately kept at solid for now until things change. So, solid, would you put it?
I just, sorry. I'd say solid is a very good place for him, yes.
Okay. And so next up is Orihime.
Orihime. Inoue Orihime. So,
Yes.
since
Okay.
I went first last time, so now it's your turn to go. Go right ahead.
All right. So Orihime, the staple girl character of shonen anime. So, like a lot of shows, there's Sakura from Naruto, Nami from One Piece, My Hero. I going on, but Orihime is that girl of Bleach, and what makes her very interesting is that she has some she has very controversial opinions. She's not outright hated like Sakura, but she has a lot of reason people would find annoying. Uh and that is the iconic Kurosaki kun moment. Her iconic line whenever crap goes down and Ichigo gets pummeled whenever she's there, or she gets pummeled. She likes to scream that, and basically her reality warping powers just kind of get negged until Ichigo does something. But whenever she does effectively control the situation and help out, they're pretty game changing, and she's probably one of the most important supports for Ichigo. She's done a lot for the story. She's done a lot for him. She's just a overall great friend, just a good person. And she should be solid. She can't really be hyped because she puts herself in a lot of bad situations. Like if you look at the bottom of the tier list, she was present and Ichigo wasn't, and she did her best, but she obviously she couldn't do anything even though Yami sucks, but she was able to pretty much save Chad from losing an arm, and she was able to do a lot of that for the characters. Like she has great abilities, so definitely above Chad, but I don't think anyone could be hyped for her just yet until they get to the Blood War.
Yeah, I agree with that. She has some very solid moments, and I don't find her character to be annoying in the slightest. I enjoyed her every time she was on screen. However, I also had the opportunity to binge watch the show, so maybe there are other factors in why people were annoyed with Orihime, such as they had to see that weekly over the course of years, and I only had to experience it a couple episodes a night. But overall, I did not hate Orihime's character. I believe people let their annoyance get in the way of their judgment, because she does contribute a lot to the story, and she's even a very central character. Do you remember just how great she was in the Grimmjow fight, where her fears were resurfacing when she saw Ichigo in his hollow mask for the first time?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was a very good scene, and I believe that very scene where she overcame her fears because she realized that the man under the mask was Ichigo, that was a very iconic scene, because it led to one of the greatest lines of the show, which is, "Sorry, Grimjow, I can no longer afford to take damage," before he, destroyed the guy. That's a very good line. So, she has excellent character development. She has excellent roles within the story. It's just that she's not utilized enough, and she was very victimized in the Arrancar arc because she was the main focus of entire world-ending threats trying to bear down on her friends.
Yeah, Orihime gets a lot of unjustified hate. A lot of people will bring up she's whiny and she got herself captured. Bro, she literally had one of the most important abilities in the show. Obviously, she was gonna get captured and go through all that. If it wasn't for her, Ichigo would still have a hole in his heart, and that would be the end of Bleach. She's an important character, and she, deserves it. If we go through a bunch of the other girl characters, you're gonna see just how much Orihime is actually worth. So yeah, what do you say? Above Chad, or not above Chad, but next to Chad?
Honestly, yeah. I think she and Chad kind of get the same representation. Honestly, I'd probably put her just above Chad, simply because she gets a bit more of the character development. Yeah. Unfortunately,
a lot of the people you'll see in Solid are just people with amazing potential, but they just need
they lack the screen time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone that doesn't lack the screen time would be Ichigo's rival and half friend, if you could call him that. Ishida Uryu, the Quincy. So
yes. So your turn.
Yes, it's my turn. Perfect, because I have a lot to say about Uryu. Uryu should definitely go in either hype or GOAT, which I want to lean towards GOAT because this man is awesome. When I first, I think when I was watching Bleach for the first time, it was when Uryu came into the story that I started to really love the story, because it seemed like a slice of life anime for the most part at first. Kon being in the story was it's okay. It's nice, but these are mild threats that Ichigo's dealing with. When's the story gonna pick up? And now we get this sort of rivalry where it stems from two races having deep intrinsic hatred for each other, and it started to really get interesting. They had their little duel, and ever since, Uryu has just been Ichigo's Vegeta in a sense. He's always training, trying to get better. Man comes through with some of the best power-ups in the series right alongside Ichigo, and this man drops bars sometimes. When this man pulls up to the Soul Society, and he one-shots a captain, saying that he can never use his abilities again because he had to take this man out. He one-shotted Mayuri and almost killed the man, but luckily Mayuri just has plot armor, so he was able to save himself. And then in the Arrancar arc, oh my god, he had one of the best lines ever. He states that Quincy's only use bows, which is awesome, and he pulls up to Huecomundo fighting a certain Arrancar. I think she's on this list. I saw her. I don't remember her name though. You might have to pull up a list of the names. And he starts dueling her with a sword. And this girl starts mocking him because he's not good with it. And she says, "I thought Quincy's don't use swords." So this man faces off against her again and says, "Well, you're right. Quincy's don't use swords." He pulls out his bow and the sword goes into the bow and he says, "This here is an arrow." And he destroys her like that. That is one of the rawest lines of the show. It has to be top 10. The Uryu is awesome. Every time that you get a little bit of Quincy lore, the man just flexes. And he's got such a great character too, because he is a rival and he does have this sort of disdain for Ichigo, but he doesn't let it get in the way of being Ichigo's friend. Whenever Ichigo is in danger, he's still immediately drops his disdain for him, and he's always there by his side, ready to help. He's the one that tried to snap White out of Ichigo's body, and he got stabbed straight through the chest for it. And this man somehow survived that, because that should have, like, obliterated him. The man's just been there since day one, ready to help his rival and friend. Oryu is a goat. He is amazing.
Yeah. Like, what you said right there, I was going to mention too. Like, I could not name a single anime character that would, maybe a couple, maybe like Zoro or someone, but like if the main character just turned into a absolute vicious, like, top tier demon in their verse, and it literally looked like Satan, and your friend or your dude, this dude just comes up and it's like, hey, you're better than this. Like literally, that is one of the most goated moments in Bleach. Like, how do you just do that? How do you just walk up to your friend that turned into Satan and be like, hey, you're still in there? And he gets shanked for it, and he's about to die, and he just kind of like accepts it. And then, well, here we go again with Orihime. Orihime snaps him out of it. Not really, but she helps too. And then it was Okuyor who finally did the snapping out of it blow. But like, Ryu is just like a peak friend. He's like the perfect friend you'd want by your side, that you don't have to have the best relationship with, but he's just like always there, and you can trust him. Like he really showed his ability in the Fullbring arc. Like, after, like, Ichigo went through the most sadistic moments of his life in that one arc, you know, of literally like regretting everything, all of his memories, all of his trauma coming back, and everyone literally betraying him. Like, literally everyone on this list, almost. And then Uryu, out of nowhere, you know, it's just like, hey, I'm still on your side. Like, that's incredible. So Uryu has some hype to debatably goated moments, but a lot of people just dislike him because
Really?
he's, yeah, like you'd be surprised at how many people think Uryu is like mid or even lame.
What?
Because yeah, it's a big thing.
Did they just miss the episode where he pulls up with the arrow?
Yeah, it's because he doesn't show many like huge powerful feats.
He probably just needed to take on one of the Arankar, that's all.
Yeah, like that's why Kubo decided to make him like a staple of Blood War, to really flesh out his character.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, like for me, I love Uryu. You know, he's almost like he's like the Sasuke that I would have wanted in Naruto. You know, not someone that's just completely blinded by revenge. And that's what Uryu is. He's a friend that's not blinded by anything. He's just like a realistic, like, solid character. Or maybe not realistic, because the balls he has on him is enormous. The point where he'd like infiltrate, now this is Blood War stuff, but like the point where he'd infiltrate, you know, enemy lines, he could die at any moment just to like still help out his friends. Yeah, like, if we had to give our solid opinions, honestly, like, compared to a lot of these characters that would be happily fine with Ichigo, like, dying for some random cause, or, you know, just, like, they just want to fight him or something, they just think he's strong. Uryu is, you know, like, a genuinely epic guy. Like, he is the Quincy. He is the true Quincy. He is one of the main characters at the end of the day, and he deserves to be a GOAT at the very least. I can't put him up to can't put him up to a iconic because a lot of people will disagree, and I'll also disagree on certain parts. He doesn't have the amount of solidification that more of the current iconics will have. So, but yeah, you know what? Let's add some to the iconic. Put Aizen and Kenpachi in the waiting room.
Okay. We got Aizen here, and Kenpachi is right here.
Yep. All right. So your pick. Would you like to talk?
They should both be an iconic, I'd say. Kenpachi's great because
you want to start with Kenpachi?
Yeah, we should give general statements because we don't want stuff to be too long. But Kenpachi's the guy. Like, he comes in, he's always flexing on people. He walks around with bells in his hair so that people can hear him coming because he wants a fair fight, but he has to limit himself to such insane extents in order to have that fair fight, and he still obliterates people. Like, the guy is nuts. He has some of the craziest fights of the series. He fought Noitora in the Espada arc, and he did get a chance to fight Yuwatch in the Blood War. Am I saying that right? Yuwatch, or is it? Are we going with like Yuhabak?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
He's a watch.
I say Yuwatch.
Yuwatch, but still.
You can go Yuwalk too.
Yuwalk, yeah, that could work. So, both of these guys, Aizen and Kenpachi, are total flexers. Kenpachi just shows you how extreme the gap between even a captain without a Shikai is between the rest of the cast. And every time that he's on screen, he's the guy that like inspired goats like Escanor or Yami from Black Clover. Like, there's no one else that holds up to Kenpachi. The dude limits himself in every way possible and still makes fools of almost every character in Bleach. And it's the same with Aizen. This dude doesn't even hold back, and he still flexes on people. But yeah, these two are two of our favorite characters, so they're both going in iconic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
like,
I'm gonna let you talk about Aizen, though, because Aizen's one of your favorite characters, so you go ahead and rave about him a little bit.
Alright, yeah, so, these two are, like, anyone in Iconic is why you would, watch the show. They're solid enough to where you can just pick it up like, oh, this character is just awesome. I'm gonna let him introduce me to the world and story of Bleach. And Kenpachi, does that in his just almighty power and, like one of the very first and rare cases of just flexing too much power and just being in like the fun of it. Whereas Aizen is literally the same thing, but he doesn't, he flexes discreetly. He's just like that guy in like the arcade room that, always gets the top scores, but that like you always see him on the top scores, but you don't see him there. He's that guy that like walks into your classroom and he's like that's top student and that he's probably going to be like a doctor by the time you leave high school. So, and anybody could like know who Aizen is and not even know like who he's from, and they just assume that he's strong. Like that's just how insane his presence is. And he's a great, well-written character. Like a lot of the plots in Bleach are almost carried by him, and his plans and just everything Kubo built up for him from the beginning of Soul Society to even when he shows up again. He's just a really solid character that doesn't have many rooms to fall back on. Like there's not many flaws at all. You can even name any. So that's why I would put Aizen at iconic. The big debate is he above Kenpachi or is he below? And what would you say?
I'd say Aizen would have to go above Kenpachi,
Yeah.
simply because
Yeah.
Kenpachi shows us just how far captains can get, but Aizen shows us just how far like the entire verse can get, because this dude gets to the top of the verse very quickly. The entire Arrancar arc is basically just setting up exactly how strong Aizen is in base form, because every single Arrancar, every single Espada is a different tier of power. And then they finally reveal that not a single one of the Espada can even hold up to base Aizen. And then the man starts going through evolutions on top of that far exceed each previous evolution to insane extents. Like, it's just insanity. The man flexes the power system over and over again in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, Aizen's just one of the rare cases in writing, but he's just a perfect, a near perfect character. Like, there's not many people that dislike Aizen. Like, he's just awesome. That's why I think he's actually like reasonably higher than Ichigo in the iconic tier.
I'd say so, yeah, because all the memes are about him too, like the Aizen's plan and planning out all of Ichigo's life.
Yeah, many videos talk about Aizen as well. And in Bleach Brave Souls, like, if you want to take that game where you can literally summon on your favorite characters, like, people always go crazy whenever he comes up. And obviously his forms are very like spammed. Like, there's always an Ichigo form, but like Aizen is just always like well liked. And this is very interesting too, because he's a villain. Like, he's a bad guy, but people like love him just as much as like a main character or a protagonist. But obviously he's not like bad. In the Blood War, he's good enough to where he'd help out like Ichigo and the others. So he has like a lot of flavor, he's really, really cool. So yeah, like and like him in the Mukin chair is just crazy popular. Like that's like how do you not go crazy about a guy that's like strapped to a chair with like no powers, and he's still like more powerful than 99% of the cast? Like, only Aizen can do that.
It's true, he basically made his own type of character just based off of everything that he did. There's not a single character like him in this show.
Yeah, like, even the chair is more popular than like most of the characters.
That's true. But then again, in Naruto, that swing is more popular than some characters as well. I guess that's a certain type of character as well. But we can move on to, let's say, the next character in Ichigo's little group of friends. How do you feel about Rukia?
She is one of probably one of the best female characters I've had to personally watch growing up. She really solidified like just being like a regular character and not being like, oh, she's a girl, she's this and that. Like, she was just a good friend, a good teacher, a good mentor. And she wasn't the strongest, but she had like solid powers, and she did her part. Like, she didn't show up as much as she more than she needed to, and she did her part, and she had no like really bad moments. I don't think. Like, she got captured and stuff, and kind of like, obviously you would be reasonably scared if you're going to be executed, like, just because you helped out some dude and his family. Like, that's pretty scary. And all that goes away. She gets saved, and she just becomes a really solid character, even more than Orihime, because like Um, because Rukia is a actual fighter, and she's actually in Soul Society. So, um, so yeah, like definitely goat with Uryu. Like yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. I gotta say though, uh, I never really thought that Rukia was gonna get with Ichigo. Honestly, I remember you telling me that there was such a massive backlash with some of the fans that they were
Oh
burning
yeah.
their own books. Honestly,
Yeah.
it might have, like I said, it might have just been me binge watching the show, but they always did seem like they had sibling
Yeah.
rivalries together. It didn't ever seem like it was romantic in a
Oh no,
way
yeah,
that Orihime and Ichigo had.
they were like friends to the end. That's what I love about like their relationship and Rukia as a character. Like she proved that a girl character can just be their own thing without having to be involved in like shipping or some other guy or just um. That's why like yeah, some people are just weird. Like when I watched it, I like didn't even think about relationships. That's what I loved about Bleach. I was, 12-year-old kid that just wanted to see cool sword fights. I didn't know what I could care less about what this guy likes about this girl. And that continued till the very end. And when Ichigo got with Orihime, it's like I guess that was probably gonna happen. It's like what is he? He's that's the only girl he like lives in the same town with. Only thing weird is like Rukia and Renji. Like it's but I don't really care either way. It's just they just needed like two new kids to like two new kids at the end for the Hell arc. So
Yeah,
I guess that's so yeah.
that did
But,
seem kind of weird to me as well. They did seem more like very close friends than a relationship
like-
duo.
like those guys seem like the friends, the most like friendly out of the group. So it's pretty big. But yeah, we had some pretty reasonable. Oh, Renji's good, but Byakuya, okay.
Yes, we got.
Who'd you like to talk about?
Let's talk about Renji first, since you were going along with Renji. What do you think about Renji?
Renji is like so solid, and he's very hyped actually, because he's one of the first people that introduces us to the cool world of Zanpakutos and what they can do.
Oh yeah,
And he had a very simple but amazingly cool sword that could extend, and like if you compare him to the other swords that were revealed, like Renji's is still like really cool. And his tie-in with like the snake theme and his Bankai and stuff had some really cool concepts. But not just his sword, like his character, he is a great example of a hero and a villain, because he doesn't, he's not so stuck up and like blinded by his plot that he's just going to be like, oh, I'm going to stop you, and I'm just going to die because I couldn't stop you, and I believe in this, I'm like the villain of this part. No, he's just like he's a person. He's like an actual character that can change feelings and thoughts. And this guy who's lived for like hundreds of years believing in Soul Society and his captain, we suddenly realized like, oh, he was just peer pressured. He was just pressured into like believing that Rukia, his closest friend, needed to die, that he had to listen to his captain, that he always wanted to surpass. Like there's a lot of stuff buried in there, and because Ichigo is such a Chad, he was able to snap Renji out of that, and you get like a really sincere thing between characters that you don't see much, where a bad character in the beginning admits fault and actually changes, like right there before your eyes, and becomes a great ally to the protagonist. And from then on, like he does like some massive stuff. He basically helps Ichigo by literally doing Ichigo's own thing of like rescuing Rukia, and he gets destroyed. He gets absolutely demolished, even after all the goat moments he had, like of him just unlocking his Bankai, standing up to his captain, rebelling against the whole Soul Society, and it's just him. It's literally just him. It's not with the group like Ichigo is. It's just him or nothing, and he gets eviscerated for even pulling that, and this is like completely like stamping himself out of like 100 to maybe like 200-year tradition of believing in these rules of Soul Society. Like, it's a massive change for Renji, and just like how Uryu had to get past like his century-old hate of Soul Reapers, like these characters take some massive steps in a short amount of time, and some people will call ridiculous, unrealistic, rushed, but I just see it as like, yeah, these are strong characters. These are characters that deserve to be in like a war, like a period of like war and betrayal and like death. Like they're Soul Reapers. They're literally called Death Gods, so they should be able to handle. They like fight skyscraper size like devils each day, and it's their own inner society. So Kubo making like these characters at the start that are just so mentally strong, like Rukia and Renji, they're goats. They're goats. Now Renji's not as high as Rukia and Uryu, but he deserves to be a goat. Like, every time I've seen him, like I want to see him. Like, I want to see Renji every time. He's just like a fun guy. He has a lot of charm, a lot of character, and it's fun to see him like be like that pseudo rival to Ichigo, but also he's, at the end of the day, he's just like his happy-go-lucky friend that was changed by him. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, goat.
All right, so up in goats, you said? Do you want to put him above Rukia?
Below Rukia and Uryu.
Below them both? Okay.
Yeah.
That does make sense, because I do like Renji as well, and it is a common trope in shonen anime, but I like how the main character can convert a lot of people that would be enemies into friends throughout the story, and I think Bleach does that a very well. Renji...
Oh my god. You know what his best scene is? One of his best scenes?
What's that?
When he came up to his house in like that outfit and the shotgun.
Oh yeah, he's dressed up as a cop or something.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I love that scene. But yeah, that is a very good placement. And up next we do have his captain, actually, which is Byakuya. And
Byakuya.
I do like Byakuya because he was basically the villain of the Soul Society arc. However, it's not like a villain who has awful intentions. We learn, this will be spoilers, by the way. I think you should know that by now. But we learned that despite how much he defended the Soul Society, he didn't agree with them in the slightest that Rukia should die. But he has to hold up their traditions because he himself is put into a position of responsibility. In fact...
Yeah,
what's that?
We'll put a heavy spoilers tag when this section comes up, so...
Yeah. He actually adopted Rukia into his family because he reminded her of his wife. And that was her older sister, right? Or was it just a coincidence that they looked alike?
Yeah, that was his wife.
Yeah, the sister?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So basically, he needed her for his own personal reasons, but he was upholding these traditions that are so outdated and so cruel to the rest of the Soul Society, and this was the position that he had to put himself in. And not only did getting beaten by Ichigo break him out of that, but it broke the rest of the Soul Society out of their cruel tendencies as well, which I think is just really good. It shows that this guy was sympathetic the entire time, and all that it required in order to get them onto Ichigo's side was simply being beaten.
Yeah, Byakuya, is is a goat. I would say he's one of the best captains that, like you said, was able to do a huge thing for Soul Society, and that's just make them chill. Don't get so caught up in rules, because if you do, then you have people plotting and deceiving you, and all sorts of things can go wrong. So him kind of just being able to trust again and find his like humanity, this whole when he used to be this whole stuck-up captain, so much ego and pride, and trying to juggle his love for his family, or his love for his like relationships versus his love for society, and looking prideful and that kind of stuff. He was able to finally not like discard one for the other, but balance it. Find peace and balance in that, and so that he could become an established captain at the end, and also have Rukia. So it was great. Like, and he's also like has just one of the most notable stomp hop toes and abilities in Bleach. Like, everybody would know Senbon Sakura. Like, nobody's ever replicated that in another anime. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Where would you let's see. I'm
just trying to round up all the captains right now.
Put Byakuya above let's see.
Is that everyone?
I think he's like above Uryu as I personally, I like him more. I like Uryu more, but he is super popular.
Do you like him better than Rukia? Because I put him above Rukia right here.
Oh, you do? Rukia has definitely has more of an impact on Bleach.
Yeah,
and
okay. That makes sense.
But he's still I
can't find all the captains though. We'll find them as we go.
Oh yeah, though. A bit hidden.
There's no Hana.
Do you want to talk about a bad character?
Yeah. Do you have one?
Put Momo.
Let me just put these all up front then, because we shouldn't confuse the viewer base.
Oh, you can keep them there if you wanted to.
It's all good. Momo was right. Where was she?
Oh, right there, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Momo. This is a character that you particularly don't like, so you can go ahead and take the floor there.
Alright. Well, Momo is a meme. Now, if we had a meme tier, which is basically Yami tier, but yeah, Momo, I don't see why people would like her. She's pretty messed up. She's very messed up, and if you've gone literally just half, a quarter through Bleach, you would see how much chaos she caused just in her initial appearance. Oh man. And but I just mostly have to say Momo is meant to be a pain in the butt. I think Kubo needed if it had to be someone, and that just happened to be Momo, because a lot of the story does revolve around Aizen, and Aizen is very manipulative, and Momo happened to be very manipulatable, person in his squad, and it just happened like that. And but the problem is, her saving grace is that she barely tried to redeem herself. She the one time she did, she just got used again. She went into the final Karakura Town battle, and she damaged a couple Quincy girls, not even a spotter, just fodder. And that fodder, because they're not actually fodder. They were able to summon Alon, which is a actually reasonable threat in that battle. And she just got, annihilated. And that was that. And the next time she showed up, she caused the whole captains to fall. Like, that's like one of the biggest Aizen moments, and it wouldn't have been possible without Momo. Like, it literally wouldn't have been. Like, if it would have been Azuru, Toshiro would have been like, crap, dang, man. I'm sorry, I'll frick, Azuru, man. Oh. And then he would have just, like, they were just, like, regrouped and, like, literally anyone, and it wouldn't have triggered such, like, a disastrous moment. But, yeah. Just is trash. She's just trash. She's just unstable, and like you really have to reach for fan theories to wanna like Momo, because if you're liking her, then you're literally excluding, she betrayed her best friend Toshiro. She literally attacked a squad member, an innocent squad member, out of just rage, unwarranted rage too. He had nothing to do with it. Like, she attacked Izuru. He was just standing there. Like, like he literally was just repeating, like, hey, you can't be, getting upset and everything. And she just freaking blasted him. Like, and then she trusted Aizen, which, you might not think is a big deal afterwards, but like, nobody trusted Aizen. Like no one. So it's not a very high bar. Like, everybody always thought Aizen was fishy. So, she did that. And even after that, she believes a literally, like, 10-minute written Among Us, like, post that, Toshiro is the ultimate evil of Soul Society, and he wants to betray it. Like this kid that that you, like, went to the Soul Academy with, that, like, you literally, train with him, him, he's your actual friend, he sticks up for you, and he's a kid, he's as young as you, and he's also very, like, respectful, he's very prideful too. He wants to betray the Soul Society. He's like, planning this 100 IQ Soul Gyoku plan to, like, take down Central 46 or something. Like, you believe that? And you're supposed to be an expert Kido at, like, Soul Academy graduate. Like what the hell, Momo? What is going through your mind? And she attacks. She stops attacking the guy that's actually fishy. Gin standing right there, fishiest guy in all of Bleach. She points her sword at Toshiro. Like, oh my god. And then she has the nerve to, like, I don't know if this is the right thing, even though she just, like, after, like, literally swinging for his head. Like, bro, you can't be this, like, bad of a character. And then she gets down, he doesn't reappear, she's in a coma or, like, trauma for, like, 90% of the arcs, comes back in Fake Karakura Town, does a cool moment, like, look at that, Momo did a cool Kido trick, she freaking, got those Arrancar girls, and it doesn't even do anything, because they just summon Alon, and she just gets bodied, goes into another coma for the rest of the battle, and then gets used as a literally, like, game-changing plan for Aizen again. And what's even the most annoying, she had all that time to think about what she did, how stupid she was, and she still has the nerve to call him Captain Aizen, refer to him as Captain Aizen when she comes to the battle. Like, yeah, Momo is trash. Momo is pure trash. She's literally only above Yami. That's it, personally. Like, yeah.
You want to put her in trash then?
Yeah.
Alright. So, we have our official trash character. Yeah, I never really enjoyed Momo, for the most part. She was inoffensive to me, and she was cool for the one time that she actually came into the story and was relevant. But for the rest of the time, she was just whining, and she literally shamed herself by not even on 4K, on live broadcast, having like some meltdown or a panic attack in front of the head captain. Yamamoto himself had to knock her out with a wave of a hand. Like, could you imagine that? People like Soul Reapers, who are the embodiment of pride, start having panic attacks in front of the very person you're supposed to impress? That's shameful.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you can like her, you know, her sword ability, her looks and stuff, but if you had to fish for, like, character, you know, personality reasons, character things, like, yeah, she's nice when she's not being brain dead or just, like, stuff like that, but, like, yeah, it's just, like, you there's literally every character just doesn't have that problem, and they've been used. Like, Orihime was literally, you know, captured and used for Aizen's plans. She's still solid. Chad, he pretty much didn't accomplish, he barely accomplished anything, but he's still solid. Yami, you know, like, at least he's like bad for a purpose, you know. Momo's just bad for no reason. She's just she's like not mentally like stable.
Yeah.
At least Yami owns up that he's a prick. That he is like he's deluded, but he's like he'll admit to that, you know. Or he won't admit to that. He'll take that. But Momo just doesn't know what she is. She really doesn't, you know. So, yeah. Trash. Sorry, guys. Any Momo fans out there?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. These are just our opinions, though. So, unless I missed a couple of the captains, I think I did, honestly. But we can try to run through the captains quickly. We can just give some brief statements on what we think. Oh yeah, here's Ukitake. There we go.
Oh yeah, let's go. You want to talk about Ukitake?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about him first. So, we'll try to keep these ones brief because we do got to kind of run through the Soul Society to get to the Arankar arc. But Ukitake, he's not very prominent, honestly, in the Soul Society arc. But he's got a really cool attitude. He's one of the two captains that stood up to Yamamoto. He's actually Rukia's captain, surprisingly, because I always confuse him with being in Byakuya's league. And I was always very impressed with just how kind of a person he was. He's the most down-to-earth captain, very kind, very understanding, but he doesn't take shit from people, and he doesn't take shit from Yamamoto either. He knew for a fact that he would die if he went up against Yamamoto, and he and Shunsui, who we will also get to, I'll put Shunsui up next, they stood up to Yamamoto knowing that they could die, and they still did it. They still fought Yamamoto and tried to push him away from these traditions and, frankly, pretty dark tendencies that the Soul Society had. And, yeah, sure, what do they call that head organization that never gets shown?
Oh, Central 46.
Yeah, there you go. The Central 46 still hangs on to all their traditions and such. Yamamoto can't change them. But overall, they both those two not only pretty much saved everyone's lives, but also were huge stepping stones in the pathway towards a better Soul Society.
Yeah, just like a genuinely like honest and kind man, like a really likable character in the show, you know, just someone you can really trust and stuff. And that one time he was dishonest about like Ichigo's badge, like that didn't even, like, Ichigo even knew that, and that wasn't like such a big deal. Like, he has a really clean track record, and it's just a shame what like happened to him later on, and you know, the lack of development. So that's why he's, you know, it's not really any hype moments for him. He's just a very like solid character that obviously, again, all the people in Solid have so much potential, but it's not just fleshed out. But we'll see in Hell Arc. So yeah, Solid for me.
Certainly. Yeah, I'd say solid. I'd put him I put him above those two simply because he does get some development in Thousand Year Blood War, I believe.
Yeah, I don't really care about seeing Orihime, but I do care about seeing Ukitake.
Oh, of course.
I was like when he showed. Yeah.
Actually, he did get some serious development in the Fullbringer arc, because he was actually a main talking point, because he is the captain that is in charge of the entirety of the Substitute Soul Reapers. And he was
exactly, yeah.
He was actually a question of morality for the rest of the Soul Society, and seeing his reaction after Ichigo turned out to be safe, that's like one of the best moments in the arc. Just seeing that he was relieved and that all this time he was moral, that's amazing.
Yeah, like the amount of trust he would have had to have on like Ichigo when this whole like Substitute Soul Reaper thing is cursed. Has always just led to bad things. Like it just shows like the pinnacle of his heart, which is a little spoiler, but it's blood.
Yeah, but what about Shunsui? What do you think about Shunsui?
Shunsui. Now this is a definite GOAT. Like easily. Shunsui, like one of the most notable and just eye-catching captains you'll see in Bleach. He has a lot of really good scenes. He is actually genuinely strong for his development. Like he's built up to have be one of the oldest captains, have like a dual Zanpakuto, which is revered as like very rare and powerful and only two of its kind in history, along with Ukitake. Obviously, because of Ukitake's sickness, he was never able to reach Shunsui's potential, but Shunsui, seeing shows like what Ukitake could have been if he wasn't sick, with like Shunsui, being head captain now and all, and he's incredibly charming, like incredibly charming. He could probably convince you to drink like 20 sakes in a row and stuff like that. It's like and he has very like close to iconic design with his swords and his way of outfit, his dress, not his dress, but his cloak and stuff. Is very cool, and his just like character too is very unique. Like he seems like a very like reasonable guy, but he's actually pretty sneaky in which shows to his like Zanpakuto, and obviously with his battle with Stark, he's like Stark immediately thought, hey, I can trust that this guy will play fairly, right? Nope. He's pretty sneaky, and he's also has very cool, unique shadow abilities and game type abilities on this, really pushed forward the conceptual type of abilities in Bleach versus just like, I'm gonna slash you with a bunch of spiritual energy and call it Getsuga Tensho, or I'm gonna use two hands and not call it anything and still kill you, Kendo. But yeah, Shunsui definitely like below Rukia. I don't think anyone will surpass Rukia in GOATs because she's just that like important.
Yeah.
But Shunsui is like probably above Byakuya.
And he's got swag.
Oh
That's
yeah,
for sure.
Like,
now, I think besides one other captain, Toshiro is one of your favorites, right?
Oh, I do like Toshiro.
Toshiro's a really good character, honestly. He's one of the more developed captains. And
yeah, Toshiro actually is probably I think he's the most popular character in Bleach over at Japan.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he certainly deserves it, and that is because he has one of the most iconic Bankais, and honestly, even though he doesn't have much character development under his belt, honestly, his character is exceptionally good throughout the story.
He's like a pioneer of his element. Like if you think ice, you're most likely gonna think of Horimaru. Like that's just how popular Toshiro and his ability is, and he really shows it off. Like, he has a lot of abilities. Like, if you compare it to like even Byakuya, like, dude has like 5 different abilities just in Shikai. Like, it's amazing how much he was able to work into that sword. And he's, he's relatable too. He's a kid that is very good at acting mature, but he has those moments that you have to fish out that, yeah, he's, kind of immature. He kind of doesn't get things. And if you watched Diamond Dust, which is Toshiro's movie, you kind of see how much like flaws he kind of has, how much development he still has to have, that Ichigo calls him out on, and like Diamond Dust, doesn't like accept help that much, but he gets a lot of growth. Like Fake Karakura Town, he eventually does start, like, he fights with like the Vizards, he does like team attacks and stuff. And he was so solid up until the Momo part. That's why, like, oh my god, if Momo was just such like a good character, this would have done so much for Toshiro's development. Like he's, oh my god, that's, yeah, just a message to everyone watching. Good friends are important to your personal development. Don't ever think that, your friends, if they're bad, you can just ignore it and, hope that they'll change. Like, you got to do something or else they'll change you. Just like, it'll just spread out like a toxic sludge, and you'll big message to all Bleach fans: don't be a Momo. Don't be a Momo.
I particularly like that Diamond Dust movie. However, honestly, I want to put Toshiro in hype simply because he has great moments, but I don't think he particularly has a moment that solidifies himself in the story with like an iconic moment, I'd say, because you have people in the GOAT category that have moments that you can just remember off the top of your head. Toshiro honestly lacks that, because like when he was fighting the third Espada, Harabel, he doesn't even get to finish that fight. When he tries to stab Aizen actually makes him stab someone else. Like
Hype is a great tier you put him on.
Yeah,
because
he gets robbed a lot, honestly.
Yeah, like a lot of times, you get really hyped for Toshiro, but it just like Kubo's like sick for doing this, but he just never lets Toshiro have like his shining moment. Like whenever he does something cool, someone either breaks out of his ice, or it didn't do anything, or like Harabel breaks out of his ice, Loopy breaks out of his ice. He gets like destroyed by this random Aran car in the beginning, and he has to have, and obviously when he has his boost, like, he destroys him. But he gets cucked by Gin, he gets cucked by Aizen, he got cucked by Harabel, he got cucked by Momo, and then finally in the Blood War, Kubo was like, oh, I'm gonna give this guy his shining moment. Like, even in Blood War, like, he got oh my god, the things that happened to him in Blood War until the very end. Like, and even then, when he has his super cool adult form, like the Sanpakuto in history, and like flash freeze in like a picosecond, like it doesn't even, Gerard Valkyrie doesn't even die. So yeah, like one of the most hype characters, but just gets like massively like strangled in moments.
I agree. So then if we move on to another captain that is a little bit more prominent, what do you think about Mayuri? Personally, I think he is good, but we actually tend to overlook the fact that he is an absolutely monstrous person. The dude is basically a Nazi scientist that like experimented on people while they were still alive. Like, this dude is not a good person in the slightest.
Like, if Mayuri was a Sternritter, he would probably be like the worst
Oh yeah.
of them.
He
So
off-puts me every time he's on screen.
But that just shows how Kubo like can make genuinely like terrifying characters as allies. Like, and this is Kubo's favorite character. So, and I'm inclined to believe that he is like a very good character because like he's not just one-dimensional like, oh, I'm crazy, I'm a crazy mad scientist that will experiment on all your flesh and please donate your blood to me. I will like he's actually not that. Like he appears that way to his enemies probably, but he's probably one of the most refined like guys, and he has a very high standard. Like he in the Blood War, you'll start noticing how actually sane he is and how he's actually even like a step ahead of a lot of captains. Like a big thing to note when ranking Mayuri, he's in constant competition with Urahara, the smartest guy in Bleach. So he's not just going to be like, he's not just going to be making dumb mistakes out of like insanity or everything. He's in always trying to get a step of the game and, you know, contribute the most. And in, in OG Bleach, he didn't have that many chances because obviously Uryu freaking like
one shot up basically.
Yeah. And then and then Cyalopero took a bunch of his time and he was just kind of stuck there. He wouldn't have been much help against Aizen anyway. But Blood War, he does like, he's the highest contributor of Blood War. Like he's the reason why like the Stern Ritters aren't walking around with everyone's Bankai still, and why, you know, like they didn't just take over Soul Society in one fell swoop. Like he did that. Mayuri, and Mayuri even calls out Yamamoto for being dumb. Like that's how much of a goat he is in Blood War. Like Mayuri's actually defies, Kubo did a good job of him defying expectations and, you know, of us thinking, oh, he's just like this lunatic mad scientist like we saw in Fade to Black. Like yeah, that's what he could have been if the stereotype was true. But turns out he's perfectly fine. He'd probably be successful with any crazy experiment he put you through, because that's just how good he is. That's just a testament to him as head of the research department. Like they wouldn't just put some bumbling, like, you know, crazy dude in there. So yeah, Mayuri, honestly, I put him low GOAT. Like he deserves it. Just for what he accomplishes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he does have one of the most iconic speeches in the show as well, so that works. Yeah. But when it comes to the next character, because you mentioned him in your little talk about Mayuri, so we kind of have to associate them. Urahara. And
well, this is not even a battle. Like Urahara is iconic. Yeah, put him up. Yeah, like
honestly,
dude, one of the okay, so what is one of the most, like, if you could name 3 of the most iconic items in Bleach, I would say like Zangetsu. Would you agree?
Yeah, you could just say Zanpakutos in general, but Zangetsu is the most important one.
Yep, everyone will recognize Zangetsu.
Oh yeah,
the hollow mask.
Yeah, there you go. And
Urahara's hat.
Oh, I was thinking about the Hogyoku, but go off.
Yeah. That would probably be 4. Like if you just showed someone like a random like purple sphere, like it would be cool for them to say Hogyoku, but most will probably fumble. But like if you show them the clog hat, like that is like one, like for perspective, one of the most popular YouTubers of Minecraft is a Urahara stan. Like just to let that sit in. And his hat is sold in like many novelty shops, and is like is probably one of the reasons why those kind of hats are popular. Like it's Urahara's hat. It's like it's literally his hat, and his design is just iconic. Like literally just his design is iconic. and every moment beyond goated. Like there's not a single bad moment where you'll be like, oh, I don't want to see Urahara, this lazy like shopkeeper dude. Like he's literally like holds up Bleach.
Literally.
And like even Aizen admits like, hey, you're smarter than me. and
that's insane to think, because he planned the show.
Yeah, like this guy created so many things, did so much for Bleach, and one of his best moments was showing that he's not just brains. Like when every captain fell, including Yamamoto, who stood up to fight Hogyoku Aizen?
Not even stood up to fight. The dude almost killed Aizen.
Yeah. And when he survived that, like he saw a man that like at that point he had transcended Soul Reapers and Hollows. Literally everything in the in like the Bleach verse up to that point. And we'll probably talk about like a Bleach tier list, but he was straight up at Blood War level, and he saw this guy, and like. And this is a guy of smarts, of like planning, of like Batman level stuff. And what he does is he takes out his sword. And he just prepares to like in Aizen comments. So when everything fails, you resort to just sword fighting, like crazy. He doesn't say anything, and he just takes out his sword. It's like, yeah, let's do this. What's going down? Like a guy that's like hundreds and hundreds of tiers stronger. This is like me going up to Saitama and just putting my fists like up, like ready to box. Like, bro, Urahara's legendary.
Oh yeah,
like, simple as that.
Is this the hit Minecraft YouTuber Philza?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
And what makes him higher than Kenpachi, probably, is because Kenpachi, yes, he did in fact off-screen Yami. But Urahara straight up clowned on Yami,
as he deserved.
Yep. Just shut down his whole character, and even Aizen heard of the story.
Exactly. Even Aizen was like, "Oh man, Yami, you have to like leave the story until like near the end of this arc just to recuperate."
Yeah. So yeah, this is amazing.
So yeah, Urahara definitely deserves to be here. Let's just go along with the rest of them. Soifon, she is. I don't know how I feel about Soifon. Like half the time, I'm like, yeah, she's all right, and the other half, I'm like, oh my god, this woman is gorgeous.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I have like
some.
I have some weird simpage relationship with Soifon.
Okay. You're completely in the right, because Soifon has a lot of fans, like a lot. Yeah, and I was actually subscribed to a very big Soifon fan who played Bleach Brave Souls back in the day. That made me like realize that there's a lot more to all these bands. There's a lot more to Soifon than just I hate
Urahara.
I hate Urahara. I hate my slug Omaida.
Omaida.
I love Yorichi. Like, no, she's a very you know what? I might like, if I was a fan, I would definitely put hype, just because like there are some hype moments.
That's
like
exactly
her Shanko,
where I wanted to put her.
Her Bankai was actually like one of the coolest moments in my opinion. Just like, and it's such like a big reveal too, because it's one of the, it firmly establishes that that Bankai and Shikai can have completely two different like messages to your soul. The Shikai being your outward personality, and your Bankai being your inward personality. Something you secretly want to express, but it's hidden deep inside you. So in her Shikai form, when she had Death and Two Stings, that exemplified her cold intro nature, just dealing with things herself and not attracting trouble, and just boom, straight up and done. Just like she like her job in the stealth division, perfect example of her. But her Bankai is what she truly wants to be if she has the chance. She wants to be that explosive, bombastic, like, hey, look at me, I can do this. Like her love for Yuririchi, her passion for like just her job and stuff, and her secret care for like for Omaida and like her teammates, because that at the end of the day, that Bankai is like to help the team. Like her Shikai is completely herself. She has to do the job. That death and two stings can only be done by her, so she has to do it. But her Bankai, like she literally needs help to get that off. Like I don't know what a more brilliant message of that is. When they paired her up with Hachi, like someone had to prep her and all that for her Bankai to be really effective. And that was just a great fight. I loved that fight. I didn't like Soifon that much until then. I was, the generic, like, oh, Soifon's just, not a good person. She's rude. But now I'm like, she's a captain. She is a captain, and she does her job, and she can be fun. And if you take her too seriously, yeah, you're gonna see her as just like rude girl. But like she's developing, like, and she can be hype. If I can find flaws in Soifon, then I can find flaws in anybody. So there's no reason why she shouldn't be hype up there with Toshiro.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I agree. And although it is a bit of a clowning moment, that one moment where she stabs Aizen twice and he flexes on her, I mean, it's an iconic moment, and it made us see that even someone like Soifon just can't be invincible with her powers.
Yeah, it's not even like a big deal, because that was her Shikai, It's like that, like, yeah, obviously Aizen's not gonna die in two stings, so it's not such a big cuck like Toshiro's. Toshiro literally just couldn't have his ultimate ability like work, like.
Sorry, I'm looking at this guy's face.
Oh my god, Jidanbo.
I forgot about him.
Do you want to talk about a good character or a bad character, or do you have someone in mind?
I got Yoriichi in line since we were talking about Soifon.
Oh yeah. Well, this is kind. What the frick?
Mid.
No name mid.
No, he has a name. He's the gatekeeper that Gin basically one shot.
Yeah, his name is Jidanbo, and he
Jidanbo.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's talk about Yoriichi.
All right. I'll just throw some characters like on the list that don't really need to be talked about, like Jidanbo. He's so funny looking.
Oh my god! Holy crap, bro.
Okay, but Yoriichi. Let's get all the details that don't need to be talked about out of the way. She's hot as hell. Now,
yep.
What else do you want to talk about her?
Okay, yeah. So good recap stuff. She is probably the best girl in Bleach. Like,
yeah.
Contending with Rukia, but Yoriichi kind of wins because she does more. She is more effective, and she's just Rukia but on steroids. Like, she helps out Ichigo, but she's she's a big reason why Ichigo she got Ichigo Bankai along with Urahara, and they're kind of like the staple. Like, let's see, I want to so goat, definitely goat.
You want Yoriichi and goat?
Yeah. That's probably above Rukia.
Okay.
Just cause yeah, your first point, yes, she's hot, and that's why a lot of people will. That's why I think she has more fans. There's a lot of Yoriichi fans.
Oh yeah, for good reason.
yeah, she's just like great. The only thing that really sucked was the Yami part. Like that was gay as hell.
What, her
Just
like just getting swatted away?
or no, that like that Kubo even pretended that Yami was like a threat to her in that situation. Like seeing as what she did to Aizen,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, he had to hype Yami up the littlest amount.
Yeah, but yeah, she's great. You couldn't name like a single thing she does that's not like awesome.
Yeah. She's just one of those characters that you just absolutely start smiling the moment that she's on screen because you know stuff's about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have about like 5 captains left, so
Ooh, Yamamoto.
I'm gonna go with Yamamoto first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't read the 1,000-Year Blood War, obviously. So just based off of what I know, he is definitely a GOAT. That is 100% for sure.
Mm.
He was a very bad person at first, but I mean, he is upholding traditions that are necessary to the Soul Society. That's what he is meant to do. And he understands that his time is coming. He is a relic of the old generation, but he is also a pillar of absolute strength for the rest of the captains to follow. So he has to train the captains, in a sense, to become better than him. And even though he's very hard on them and he did uphold really bad traditions, he slowly allows them to overcome what he once was. Yeah. And even though he barely got out of off his fucking ass for half the story, he's a good character. Like, yeah. I grew to love him. And I think the breaking moment is right in the fight with Aizen, where you're like, this guy has done nothing for half the time. He's letting his captains get gravely injured. He's letting these horrible traditions go on. And then he finally says, like, yeah, I'm going to kill all the other captains with us because they laid down their line. They laid down their lives for the Soul Society. This is what we do. And then when Aizen finally tricks him and he realizes that Aizen is not bluffing, he dives on the grenade and he saves everyone. And you're just like, oh my god, you are the GOAT, Yamamoto. The last minute, his true feelings comes out and he saves everyone, but it costs him the rest of the battle.
Oh, and also that line when he says, when he tells Ichigo to flee because he's not a part of the Soul Society, like that was also really cool.
Oh yeah, I did like that. He's like, all about duty. That's his thing.
Yeah. He's like the first like legend, like truly, like if you had to think of like a legend, you know, something that is is great in history, but you never really you'll never have the eyes to see it until like maybe special circumstances. Like he's like the Roger of One Piece, or like the Madara or Hashirama, or even like the Sage of Six Paths in Naruto. Like you just know of that like legendary status, but we treat it as like he's supposed to do something because he's right there, you know, he should do something. But that's the thing, he does. Like we miss it, but he commands through those small moments, and that's why even in the beginning I knew this guy was like, this is the pinnacle of like authority, power. This is like one of the first characters I grew to know that was literally like the boss character right there. And you just showed it, like everything, you know, like his Shunsui and Ukitake versus him, when he finally like fought for real against Alon, like just smoked him.
Oh yeah.
And then the Aizen battle was really cool, like the way they just they really showed him his true strength without him using his sword, like the fist fighting martial arts. That was insane. That was insane when I was watching as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Like just the freaking music, like the metal music going off while like this crazed Wonder Weiss is just like, punching him a billion times, and he's just like, oh my god, it was legendary, truly legendary. So yeah, goat of goats. Definitely I think highest of goats.
Definitely. I don't know if he makes it to the iconic tier just because his role was short-lived, because he didn't do anything for 95% of the story.
No, yeah, you can't excuse that. He was very lazy.
So he did, like, I think a total of 3 things in the entire story, but I mean, every single thing that he did was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So it was well worth the wait, but it's not, it was too much of a wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. And, shit, I dropped my phone. We do have other captains, such as, I think this is one of the most,
controversial?
Controversial? I wouldn't say controversial, but overlooked captains, because, like,
yes.
he doesn't do a lot. I mean, that's not fair. He does do a lot, but, like, his contributions are lackluster.
He's very missable.
Yeah, very missable, honestly.
He's like the, if I had to put, like, the captain that's, like, the baseline for every captain, I would put Komamura. Like, he's just, when you first see him go through the series and you look at him, all you can really say is just a captain, he's a loyal and, responsible captain.
He might just be the weakest captain, honestly.
But here's the thing. When you look at it, like, as a fan perspective, then you kind of see, well, Komamura is kind of inspiring. He actually has a very, like, destructive and powerful Zanpakuto, but what makes him appear lackluster and not noticeable is that he has a very big weakness with that, and that's he's always, like, the frontliner. Like, he's the first to go into battle, and the fact that he literally takes damage when you attack his sword. Like, it's pretty big trade-off. So with this, like, you'll mostly see, like, he got one shot by Aizen. When he shows up again, he got one shot by Kenpachi. He got one shot by Tosin. Stuff like that. Like, but who has he been fighting, though? He's been fighting, like, some of the toughest characters in Bleach. It's not fair. It's not fair to his character. And you look at it like, I could say the same for Uyu. He kind of, like, he didn't win that much either. I could say the same for Toshiro. I could say the same for Soifon.
That's very fair, honestly.
Ukitake didn't win anything. Chad didn't win it. Chad barely won anything. Like, Komamura is the message of, hey, just because you appear weak doesn't mean you still shouldn't give it 190% of your effort, because that's what he did. Every single time. His loyalty, he just, like, he was the first to stand up. And like against Aizen, like, yeah, it would have been cool to see other captains, but they would have been one shot the same, Doesn't matter. Kenpachi was one of the strongest ones, that's not fair to him either. And, like, when in the Fake Karakura Town arc, he literally fought, like, arguably a person that's stronger than all the Espada. Like, so it just shows it's more a testament to his character than his, like, his power.
Honestly,
because
that is very fair what you said there. I forgot that he was right there fighting, what's his name? Tosin?
Yeah.
Almost forgot his name there, and he's actually a good character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so would you put him in hype?
I wouldn't say hype, but I would say solid.
Mid. Right above Gatekeeper.
Oh my god.
I'll put him at bottom, solid. Just because he actually kind of gets clowned on by a pretty weak Espada, just one of the what do they call them? They have a special title.
The Fraction.
Yeah, there you go. The Fraction. He has like a struggle of a fight with a Fraction, doesn't he?
That's only in he was only like messing around. The scaling shows that he's actually one of the stronger captains.
Oh, really?
Like he's actually stronger than maybe he could be stronger than Toshiro and Zoifon actually.
Oh wow, okay. So he doesn't.
It's just that
he doesn't really go all out then.
Yeah. It's just like, if you take his like we gotta remember who he actually fought. Like he fought Aizen. That's he fought Kenpachi. He fought Tozen, and then he fought Kenpachi again. He fought Aizen again. So, yeah. Oh my freaking god, dude!
So where do you want to put him in solid? Like just below Ukitake?
Dude, get that man off of there.
Okay.
That is so cursed.
Bro, he held up the gate to the Soul Society.
Dude, that's like and the Soul Society is like infinite, so he's like literally boundless in strength.
Yeah, dude. You see? He could literally beat Goku. He would just hold Goku up.
Yeah, and there's no like fallacy in anything I just said.
Yeah. So what about what's his name?
Yeah, bottom of solid.
Yeah, okay. He doesn't get a lot of good moments, but the moments that he's in
above Chad.
Okay. But just below Orihime. Yeah, that makes sense. We can go with Tosen as well.
Put Gin and Tosen.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tosen,
he actually has a good backstory.
Mm-hmm. And he's one of this is pretty big for Tosen. He's one of the best black characters in anime. You can't even argue that. He's just iconic in that department. And he was always really cool whenever I saw him. I never really questioned his authority. Especially when he showed up to stop Grimmjow, and he just randomly appeared. I never doubted that his ability as Aizen's right hand man. He always had some cool powers. If it wasn't Kenpachi's just strength, that would probably take out most people. That his original Shikai and Bankai. And he has a lot of cool character traits. He's blind. He has this really very unique sense of justice. And he had a good relationship with characters from the show. You can't even say that for Gin. Gin only had Rankiku. Tosen had Shuhei. He had Komamura. He was friends with. He had Aizen and Gin, and he was just a solid captain. So, and his freaking resurrection form, not the bug one. The bug one was kind of was weird.
Yeah.
Which is what Kubo was going for. But before that, the sleek mask, whole body mask form. That was amazing.
I loved that form so much.
Yeah, that was killer. And him fighting Komamura's Bankai and that, just definitely hype. I think top of hype.
I'd honestly put him right in between these two. But what do you think? Top of hype?
Yeah. Actually, put him below both of them.
Below? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Gin? Well, Gin has to be at least top of hype. Because that man pulled out one of the most crazy scenes in the whole show.
Yeah, I almost want to say GOAT. But I'm just a big Gin fan. But hype is fair. No, he's not at that level.
Okay.
But what he accomplished in his, short life is pretty incredible, because he was a prodigy. But for him to use his talent for that, 1 second, just sending a little text. Okay. But for him to to use his talent for basically a life-changing goal. Like that's the one thing that is pretty iffy on Gin's part. Like he did all this, the whole backstabbing plan for Rengiku, like pretty crazy. But I mean, he did it, and he was successful for a while. He was pretty much successful, and he was really cool. Like probably one of the staple iconic sneaky characters in anime. You'll always think of Gin whenever you see the slanted eyes or the closed eyes. Like that's Gin. It came from Gin pretty much, or mostly. Very simple and iconic Zanpakuto, had really cool fights, especially with the Hollow Mask Ichigo one. That one was one of my favorites.
And the fact that he, unlike the rest of them, he never honestly gets a transformation. Tosen gets a Hollow Mask, Aizen evolves so many times, Gin stays the way he was the whole time.
Yeah, he was just that strong. It's incredible. And he has a very cool style and aesthetic to him. And what pretty much brings him this high is, I would say that he has a lot of charm that's expounded on in the Arrancar Encyclopedia. I loved watching those after the shows and stuff. That just added so much life to Bleach when he ran that show. Do you remember watching?
I think I watched one of them, but I don't think I watched the rest. I should probably get back to watching those.
Yeah, those are so awesome. He explains so much. He explains so much about the lore, and every snippet episode, talks about the relevant espada that shows up in the episode and what they can do and stuff. Kubo did the most he could with that character. So yeah.
All right, and then we have one final captain to get through, and this is honestly, it's a good thing that we did her last, simply because Yamamoto, I flamed him a lot for doing nothing. Unohana does absolutely nothing until the Blood War. Am I right?
Oh yeah, Unohana.
Unohana quite literally does absolutely nothing, and I don't know why I didn't flame her, but she's just cool. She always had this calm, cool demeanor that I just liked, and I never thought to flame her. But she does nothing in the story. I think she shows off her Shikai once, when she summons the giant manta ray to fly above the Soul Society, but that's it. She does nothing else. I mean, she comes in and she heals people, but that's it. Or actually, there was the scene when Aizen first revealed himself, and she does fight a little bit, doesn't she?
Nope, she never fights.
Yeah, okay, she doesn't even fight him. She just kind of freaks out a little bit, so she does nothing until the 1,000-year Blood War. So
nope, she's just a poster, cool captain. Now what's cool is what you're gonna like is that she does actually fight in the filler. So
okay, that's cool.
I've seen yeah, she's mid.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. She really doesn't do it. She really doesn't do anything.
And this is just non-Blood War stuff. Even though we did say Blood War, that it still wouldn't have changed the position, but even in Blood War, it would only get her up to solid. But right now she's mid, solely because she does her role as her support captain, and yeah, we understand she heals in the background, but yeah, not much you can say. Yachiru.
Oh yeah, there you go. So we can go through all the vice captains. I'll put them all in the waiting room, and we should kind of do a lightning round, because honestly, the vice captains don't have a ton of character half the time. But
pretty much, I can just say if I had Shuhei, I would just say a Shuhei versus Findor, legendary.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Showed how lieutenants can actually look that are actually cool and stuff.
right off the bat, before we start that, though, do you remember these two characters' names?
Yeah. Ganjo and Kukaku.
Yeah, I completely forgot their names. They're just mid. They kind of help in the Soul Society arc, but I honestly completely forget their contributions except for their family, like, launching them into the Soul Society. When they were first introduced, the story kind of grinded to a halt, and it was honestly very boring. And I remember Ganju was just okay, and he was... Can you even count that as funny? Like, he was a character.
Yeah, I'll admit, when I was having watched it when I was younger, I found it a bit more, comedic, of his like silly squabbles with Ichigo and the whole like family rivalry. Actually, it was just more funny because like they just like randomly like squared up with each other. But I would mostly not say that Ganju is lame, because what he did against Byakuya was kind of dope. Like just a regular Soul Society dude, walking up and being like, "Yeah, you suck. You doing this to your sister and everything. Like, yeah, you're a bad guy," and then just like surviving a captain level Shikai. It's pretty epic.
Yeah. Real quick, is this the guy that Uryu literally destroyed his powers?
God. Like, yeah,
that dude was just trash. I don't even know why they had him in the story.
Yeah, he got obliterated. He fought Uryu and Urahime, and he was, I wouldn't say like trash. I'd say he's definitely not as bad as Momo. I'd say like lame, just because he did do his part of like showing firsthand, what like seated members of a squad can do and making them fearful. So I would put lame. He did his part.
I guess so. Yeah, and they did introduce us to the fact that you can get your powers obliterated, basically.
Yeah. Omaida we should talk about, though.
Yeah. Omaida's just dumb. Like, honestly, I had some people trying to say that he was on the same level of Yami, and it's like, yeah, he's annoying as hell, and he's a dumbass, and he honestly, like, took up way too much of the story at one point, but, like, I mean, at least he shows up, and he finally does his job, and he takes a good W against that elephant Arankar, but it's like, he overstayed, but he stopped goofing off and stopped being a loser when the time actually came. And when in that Baragon fight, I mean, he couldn't do anything, which is understandable, but he did at least stop messing around, and he helped Soifon.
Yeah, he actually like that's why I don't think he's in trash. I think he could be lame or even mid if you account his like final actions as like good, because like he did some pretty good stuff for when Soifon asked, like, he cut off his arm, he cut off her hand when she asked, he made that like discount like contraption to stop her from like flying away. I think he actually tried to like contemplated or even tried fighting Baragon, but like he like Momo, to be Momo tier, you have to be actually like unstable, and I don't think Omaida is that. I think he's stupid, and I think he's like a very trash. He's probably one of the worst lieutenants, but oh my god. But he does his job, he does his job.
Yeah.
Like especially like when you see him against Ichigo, that one time he got his like whole Shikai just destroyed in a palm. Like, like at least the man like stood there and he does stuff. Whereas Momo is literally like a criminal. Like, he's not even arguable.
Yeah.
You know who is trash with Momo?
Who's that?
Find me Tetsuzaimon. That mustache.
Tetsuzaimon.
Yeah, that mustache dude. That's the lieutenant of Komamura's squad.
Oh, this guy?
Who? Where is he?
I'm clicking on him.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, okay. He
Yeah,
does
he
nothing in this story. What, you want him
Yeah,
at,
he
like,
actually-
top of lame?
No, trash.
Oh, you want him in trash, okay.
Yeah, he is like, he serves zero purpose. He did nothing, and the fact that Kubo, like, I hope this isn't Kubo, but the fact that, like, someone implies that he has a Bankai,
Oh my god.
Like,
we never even know
in
his
that-
Shikai, dude. He does nothing.
and he, like, squanders, like, off, like, he struts about, like, so, like, high and mighty, like he's, you know, oh, I'm a good lieutenant, you know, I'm responsible, I do stuff. Like, no, bro, you were gonna have one fight in Karakura Town, and your captain literally, like, got in front of you and just prevented that.
Yeah, honestly. I mean,
Yeah, and like, they gave him Komamura's position by, like, technicality, because Komamura's a wolf, like, you know, if you know what happens in Blood War,
yeah.
like, they just gave it to him. Like, oh my, that's so frustrating. Like, yeah, he's trash. He's so bad.
Honestly, I agree, just because he just, like, we've been over this so many times. He does nothing. And he's a good character. I remember him. Whenever I think of a super serious character, I think of him. But, like, why do I think about him? There's no reason to.
Yeah. Because he, like, that's all he likes to do. It's just, like, he's just a sim character, you know?
Yeah. Now, honestly, I was thinking about putting her in this tier as well, but I think she should just go with the other visors, because she is a second in command, but I mean, honestly, she doesn't act like a second command after the turn back the pendulum arc, so I don't think I can count her. So, other than that, we do have... Oh wait, is this Momo? No, this isn't Momo. We already have Momo. I'm just sorting through a couple people. Where did I see Shinji? There we go. And I saw... Jeez. I saw Hachi down here. That's some of them. I got Rose already. Love? Love is right there. Get out of the way, Ginjo. Who am I missing? Oh no, she's up there. Oh wait, should she not count anymore since she is since Lisa is a visored?
Who?
Lisa? She shouldn't count as a second in command, right? Because she's a visored now?
Yeah, visors are separate.
Yeah, okay, so we won't count her yet. Am I missing anyone in the visor category?
Anyone that catches your eye, that, like, or your mind that you want to talk about?
Well, I got all the second in commands in the waiting room. But
okay, nice. Let's
right here, real quick. Am I missing any of the visors?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, what's his name? Not Ichibei,
Ichibei, that's true, yeah.
The guy at the end. Sasakibe, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right here. There we go. I knew I was missing someone, I just couldn't think of it.
So pull up Sasakibe at the end of waiting room.
Right here?
Nope. That's what the frick? You made me forget his name. That's
Is one of the vice captains?
No, that's a captain.
No, I know this guy's a captain.
That's Kensei.
Yeah, Kensei.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Sasakibe, that's Yamamoto's vice captain.
Oh, he's there. Right here.
Yeah. So
I have him.
We're gonna put him in mid.
Yeah, I don't think he does anything, does he?
Bottom of mid. No, above below Don Kanoji, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he does something, but off screen. He got disrespected, man. Like, he comes into the story, and sure, he's not in Shikai, but just a Shikai, Ichigo trashes him in the Soul Society arc, and then when it comes to Thousand Year Blood War, he pulls out one of the best Bankais that we've seen, but it's off screen, and then he gets killed. So we don't even get a good send-off for him. Like, he just gets disrespected.
Yeah, that's Blood War, and that might even, I don't think that would still change it, but yeah, he does get, like, massively cucked. I think Kubo just, like, forgot that he existed, and he might have had a lot of plans for him. Like, obviously, I thought the same too, like, holy crap, Yamamoto's vice captain, and he's, like, wearing, like, something similar to a captain's uniform. Like, he's gotta be, you know, OP, right? He's gotta be sick.
Yeah,
and he
definitely.
looks old. He looks old, too. He has, like, a cool design. And
he looks like Alfred from Batman.
Yeah. Like, I genuinely thought he was gonna be, like, like, it was gonna take a while for Ichigo to fight him in that, like, 3-man lieutenant, like, chase.
Yeah.
And then he just, oh my god, the palm that ended a whole character, like, a whole character arc.
Yep.
But yeah, so, but, like, his design is, he's a bit more notable than, the bottom guys.
Yeah, I'd say so. These two just kind of are forgettable.
Yeah.
So we should
I don't
lightning...
even...
What was that?
Yeah. I don't even know why he's above Omaida, but I guess it's like, you'd rather see Sasakibe than Omaida, you know?
Yeah, because Omaida's
nobody, yeah.
He's inoffensive in the least. Omaida's just annoying. Yeah. So we should lightning round the rest of the vice captains, because a lot of them are just, like, somewhat side characters. Yep. Where would you put Nemu?
Nemu. I like Nemu. She's yeah, she does her job. I put, like, you know, oh frick, I can't. Okay, mid.
Yeah, I'd say honestly probably right above Unohana.
Yeah, she does more.
Just because.
Why the frick is this guy in?
Because he's the
mid.
He's the king of mid.
Oh my god, bro. Okay.
I can take him out later. I just wanted to have this as a joke. But oh, he's not even a vice captain. But where would you put what's his name? He starts with a Y. Yumachika.
Yumachika. I would put him, he had some pretty cool moments. I'd say solid.
Yeah, honestly, I'd put him right above Komamura, just because Komamura doesn't get a moment to himself, but Yumachika gets that cool fight with the really weird Arankar, and seeing that moment where he reveals his true Shikai, that was just cool. Like, understanding why he so desperately doesn't want to stand out in his squad, and then understanding just how powerful his true Shikai is. That's a cool moment. Yeah. Like, he's a really good character.
He showed off a really cool new plot point for Sanpokto, and, like, hiding their, like, true name and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then obviously we gotta take Saitama here.
Oh my god, yeah. Ikaku he gets memed a lot, but he was a sick lieutenant. I'd say I would honestly say hype. Like, in his glory days, like with the Bankai, that was such an epic. That was one of the best Bankai reveals.
They use his Bankai like twice in 2 different movies.
Yeah, the fact that they let him use it again in the movie just shows, like, how hype of, like, a lieutenant he was.
Honestly. But, like,
he was Renji's teacher too.
His teacher? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Renji, when he first started, he went to Ikaku for help.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, like, honestly, Ikaku gets an awesome moment, but then they just make up a plot point where he just can't do that moment anymore. Where if a Bankai breaks, then it can't be returned unless you go and, like, ask the Soul King, hey, pretty please, could I get my Bankai back? Yeah. It's like, come on, you just did that to Ikaku after he gets an amazing moment. So,
but they also made him so weak, like afterwards. Like, he couldn't even
True.
take down like the guy. Like, he was the like. This is so. Why did Kubo do this to Ikaku? But he was the only one that lost a pillar in the fake Karakura town. You know those pillars that were supposed to like protect.
Oh my god!
Like the only one that failed. Like that was so horrible, and they had to come to his.
He was shamed. He was shamed in front of his friends.
Yeah, he had his Shikai out and everything, and we just see him off screen, face planted on the floor, and this Fractione fought wasn't even released. Like, god dang!
Like, come on, stop doing that to my man.
Yeah.
This is not Lisa. What's her name?
Nanao.
That's it. Yeah, Nanao.
Discount Lisa.
Discount Lisa. Honestly, top of lame. Like, what does she do?
Besides frothing at the mouth, when she saw Yamamoto, that's about it.
Yeah, honestly, like she really does nothing. I think she comes in the 1,000-Year Blood War for like a moment, but like
we'll do an updated tier list when Blood War comes out. But this is just she's lame. Wish she was lame in Soul Society. Onwards, just was there to look pretty and that's it.
Yeah. This guy's not even
Hanataro.
Hanachiro's not really a vice captain, but I thought I'd throw him in because I don't know when else to put him in.
I'd say mid.
Yeah,
mid.
honestly.
He's put him below Don Kanoji.
Yeah, because he helps. He's a good character. Yeah. Honestly, I really love his voice too. He's a perfect wimpy character, but he bucks up enough to help people. And
do you remember the time he took down that Menos with his Shikai?
Did they show his Shikai?
Oh, that might have been a filler.
It might have been. I only learned about his Shikai from one of those like what Kubo calls his own SPSs. It's like the needle, right? That shoots the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember him from.
Yeah, like he and the fact that Ichigo remembers him is he's the perfect embodiment of like a low tier Soul Reaper.
Yeah,
as it should be.
And he's brave enough that he doesn't just whimper and cry like a baby every time that he's in a bad situation. He's just a good guy. And his role in the third movie, what's it called? Fade to Black, he was great. Like he just relived his getting to know Ichigo phase. Yeah,
that was great. He healed him again. Like amazing.
Yep, exactly. So honestly, like he reminds me a little bit of Chopper from One Piece, where he'll just even if they're enemies, he'll just heal them just because he's that decent of a guy. And yeah, that's just how much I like him. But next character, I actually forgot her name, and there's a reason for that. Isane.
And that's because
she's a mid character, honestly. The middest of the mid.
Who is she the vice captain of?
Unohana.
And she actually does more than Unohana.
Yeah. And she still has less cool moments.
Yeah.
I forgot her name because she just doesn't do anything in the story. And it's not even like this guy where he actually does absolutely nothing. She does some stuff, like she performs some Hados. You see the Hado where she can transmit her voice to the whole Soul Society. She heals people. She's in a lot of the fillers, and she steps up and is a good character. It's just that she just doesn't contribute. Doesn't contribute anything.
She also got her character arc ended with the backhand from Ichigo.
That's also true, yeah. So I mean, we could probably put her in the same tier as this guy because they both got backhanded.
Yeah, she put him above him.
Yeah, that's fair. Do we know her Shikai?
No, sadly.
So we don't know either of these guys' Shikais. The fact that Hanataro has more development than these two.
Oh my god! I just saw that you had Cone up there.
Yeah,
I just realized that.
The true iconic man. Yeah.
I mean, not even like not even memeing, but he is iconic.
Yeah, I can just put it back there though.
Yeah.
I mean, Buff Khan soloing the verse, hell yeah.
Yeah, Soul Reaper Khan took out Aizen and Gin and Tosin even before in his timeline, so
How
in
about
one of your watches timeline.
Yachiru? Are we putting her in solid?
Oh yeah, Yachiru is solid. Very probably like lowest of the solid characters.
Lowest? Like below Chad?
I mean, she doesn't like she's just mental support for Kenpachi. Like if she was like not around, Kenpachi would still be like the same. It's just that she finally does stuff and actually no, she doesn't actually. When Blood War starts, Kenpachi still has to like figure out things in his own. Like she's just there. She's just there.
Honestly, yeah, you're kind of right. Like she's comedic, and she is like
I love that. I love the dual. I love like them as a duo. But like, you know, like when people think of Kenpachi, I'm 99% sure Yachiru doesn't like exist in that. Like whenever you think of Kenpachi being badass, do you ever like think of Yachiru or even remember that she's there in that scene?
If you would ask me to think about Yachiru, I think the only time that I would think about her is literally when she's away from Kenpachi and standing on the sidelines watching him fight. Why is his name slipping my mind?
Noitora.
Yeah, Noitora. When she's literally just standing there watching him, that's the only time that I was actually paying attention to her.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right about that.
Izuru.
I'd kind of put him solid, like above Yachiru, honestly. He pulls up.
I'd actually put him above Yumachika.
I actually would say you're right, because he comes in. Honestly, his fight is memorable against that bird dude. Like
his ability too.
Yeah.
His ability too is like so solid and simple. And I don't think he like has like any losses or anything.
Not
I think
really,
he's
no.
like and he also like took on like a crazed Momo with like no damage.
That's true. And actually, the thing that I remember him for mostly is his Hado control. I was very tuned in and interested because I believe around the time...
Yeah, he had some good Hado.
Yeah, around the time that his fight happened... when was that? I believe it was before Shuhei's fight, but it was after Ikaku's. So both of those guys don't really use a lot of Hado. Shuhei uses a little bit, but seeing Ikaku use that red ball to blow up the building and then just start like using certain Hados that we've never seen before, it tunes me in and I'm immediately interested because I'm drinking in this knowledge that Ikaku's showing me. And then just seeing more and more stuff from him, he's engaging. Like he shows off his sword spinning Hado. I think I'm using the word wrong. It's at least a Kido, but he's showing off different Kidos and making his sword spin. Then he pulls out his Shikai.
The Hado is Tenran.
Yep, the red ball one.
And
what's the spinning sword one?
The red ball is Shakaho.
Shakaho, that's right. What's the one you're thinking of?
Tenran is the spinning one.
Okay. And does he do another one?
I
think he does a wind one, right?
Nope, that's Tenran.
Okay.
But yeah, he's like we forget in like the Soul Academy flashbacks that he is like a genuinely like good Kido controller, and he graduated like with Momo and Renji. Like that's why I would put him like above Yumachika, because he just, you know, has more solid character moments. He has a more solid design. You know, that emo like Soul Reaper guy that you'll always know that's Izuru. You won't recognize his name, but you'll know like immediately, hey, who's that like emo dude with like the blonde hair and doesn't talk much. Has that
dude.
interesting like, yeah. But yeah, Izuru's solid.
Let me see real quick. I'm looking at his fight because I swear he. Hold on a sec. Round lock fan. No, okay, that's the spinning sword one. That's the one that you said. Oh no. Yeah, there's a third one. Ikosen, which is Bakudo 39, is the round lock fan, and it's not the one where he makes his sword spin, but like he makes like
that's the one that completely failed in his face.
Yeah, that's true. I thought he did another projectile though. I might be wrong, but I thought he like threw wind at him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a different fight, but yeah, he did at least 3 Kidos, and one of them seems to have failed. But yeah, that's just what I remember him as. He's the Kido guy. He's the vice captain that knows the most Kido. But actually, the best fight out of all of them definitely has to be this guy.
Oh my god,
the absolute goat. I thought I was like not a loner, but like I thought I was appreciating someone that wasn't generally appreciated when I started to really like Shuhei. But no, he's like generally the most loved vice captain. I mean, the man knows a lot of Kido, not as much as Izuru, but he knows a lot, pulls out a lot in his fight.
I would say he's more effective with Kido, because Zuru, like as good as he is with Kido, he likes to set up his Zanpakuto ability, because it's a good ability.
Yeah, that's true.
But Shuhei, you got to remember, for the longest time until that fight, he didn't have a Shikai.
True, yeah, or he did, but he never used it. And actually, I just learned about this a little while ago. But Shuhei, he's a prodigy in his own right. Like he was going to become a third seat right out of the academy. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, because like the amount of like intricate, just like the intricate combos he pulled out, with like the Kido, and all this time with a sealed sword, it's like it just shows like how popular, like Findor versus Sagi is like one of the most viewed Bleach fights. He got his own novel, he got a Bankai, and he was like one of the only, I think he's the only lieutenant that was able to fight an Espada. Not even an Espada. He was able to fight like one of Aizen's, right-hand mans, being Tozen. Like he was there.
Yeah.
So
honestly, and the fact that they were so interested in this guy that he was a very good focus in the
you're
third
putting
movie.
him in GOAT?
That's where I'm initially putting him. Yeah. He was actually a focus in the third movie. Ichigo went right to him to get information. That was good. And then the fact that they make an entire book series about him, like a book trilogy, Can't Fear Your Own World. They made an entire book just to explore this one character. Yeah. That is amazing, honestly. Like, they really fleshed him out. And yeah, I think I might want to put him in GOAT, because I was thinking about hype, because he does only have about one really good fight. Maybe in the Blood War he gets something better. But I mean, he has his book. He is a very large focus every time that you think about vice captains.
You think Renji or Shuhei?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I could put him below, like at the end of GOATs, if you account in all the movie editions and stuff, because those were really cool. Like his Diamond Dust scene when he's like hunting down Toshiro.
Oh
like,
yeah,
that was cool.
That was very cool. However, I want to bring one final thing up, which might or might not change your mind. I was considering putting him this high because of his line, where he says, where he's talking about his Shikai, and he
Oh, yeah.
tells the man, "Are you afraid?" And obviously the guy thinks he's putting him down, so he says no, and he's like, "Oh, I see. Well, I'm afraid." A man who does not fear his own sword will never correctly wield it, and then he destroys the guy. That is such a raw line. Like that's top 5 lines.
Like, yeah, he like, I would say like that. Just like his fight is already carrying him so high up. Like this one, like we have to account in that like he has, it's just one scene, and you know, if you were like to go to like Uryu, Renji, and Mayuri, you know, they have their own like moments like that. Like Renji's, for example, just as memorable. When he fought Byakuya the first time, and he was down on his knees and he was about to, you know, finally give up, and he let out one last like cry, and he like literally repeated like Ichigo's words to him towards Byakuya, and like one final attempt to like cut him, and you know, that was also a memorable part.
Yeah,
then like
you're right.
Yeah, like Shuhei is awesome, but he's like really worked. Like, just wait until the Blood War ones. He'll get out higher. But yeah, I see where you're coming from, man. He's the best. He's almost the best vice captain.
I do gotta say, yeah, because I can't let the hype of one line overshadow all the contributions that the rest have done.
Yeah.
But
it would be like, but yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like like if we were going on like the One Piece thing, and we were at like Shanks, you know, I would obviously have to control myself from being like, oh, Shanks is better than all these characters, and I gotta be like, well, he doesn't like show up, and like, so I can't really do that, you know. So
yeah. And unfortunately, this is where we will have to cut the video for now. However, we were able to rank every single character from the Substitute Soul Reaper arc all the way to the Soul Society arc. And in the next video, we will be able to rank everyone from the Arrancar arc all the way up to the Fullbringer arc, so stay tuned for that. This month will officially be the Bleach month for us, so we will be focusing primarily on Bleach content while we wait for the new anime to come out. But if you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you next time on the Casual Anime Podcast. Remember fam, keep it casual.